How's it going, guys? Tuning into Eazy.Jesus.Boxing. Tonight we're going to talk about the Gabe Rosado versus David Lemieux fight and also the undercard fights. Now, unfortunately, I didn't really get to catch the Hank Lundy versus Thomas Delorme, the Puerto Rican out of the Robert Garcia Academy gym. But from what I heard, both fighters weren't very um, not impressive. My dad actually told me that Lundy was putting on pressure, but he wasn't setting up his punches well. Now, this is what he told me. I didn't really get to see until like the last round, and that Delorme was actually that he just didn't look really comfortable in there at all, and he wasn't making Lundy pay for some of the punches that he was missing, and my dad said that Lundy was actually coming on towards the middle to somewhat late rounds, and he was starting to score some punches and land some punches on Delorme that he probably shouldn't have landed. But like I said, unfortunately, I wasn't able to catch it. Maybe if one of you guys can find the fight on YouTube or a different website, go ahead and send me the link. I'd like to check it out and see exactly what happened. So I can't really say much about that fight, but nonetheless, both Lundy gets the loss, unfortunately for him. Delorme moves on. Who knows what boxing holds in store for him. The next fight I did catch Centennial versus De La Rosa. Now, before we get on to this, for those of you who don't know who Centennial is, he actually fought another prospect that goes by J Rock. I don't know if you guys ever seen him fight on FS1 on the Golden Boy cards. They're both really talented fighters, but back in 2013 of September, a few days before the Floyd Canelo fight, I believe, or not Lundy, but Centennial and J Rock Williams were boxing that night. They were boxing each other, and there was a clash of heads in the third. Was it the third round? Must have been the third round. And up to that point, I had J Rock Williams just pressuring Centennial and pretty much beating him to the punch. And they were really not close rounds. And Centennial was really looking like he was going to probably lose that fight. But since there was a clash of heads, the doctor got in, and Centennial had a cut, not over his eye, not under his eye, it was off to the side a bit, almost like towards the temple area. He claimed that there was blood getting into his eye, and he couldn't see. Now, if you haven't seen the fight, go watch it. It's Centennial. It's I can't remember his first name. Centennial versus Julian Williams. It was a pretty lopsided fight for the first 4 rounds. Now, most people are actually calling Centennial a quitter for taking that way out. I don't know if I'd necessarily call anyone a quitter in the sport of boxing, but I can understand why people saying that he quit. He was down on the scorecards and he was kind of looking for a way out, and he was able to get that with the cut on the above the eye. So now we move on to Saturday night, or last Saturday night, fighting De La Rosa, who's coming off a win against Alfredo Angulo. Now, it's really hard to be able to tell how good De La Rosa actually is before the fight that last Saturday night, because we don't know which Angulo he fought. We don't know if he fought the Angulo that that went life and death with Laura, and that gave a lot of fighters a lot of problems. Instead, I thought maybe he got the Angulo that showed up to the Canelo Alvarez fight. I don't hate to say this, but they shot Angulo. He just doesn't have that killer instinct anymore, and that's De La Rosa's last one back in September, I believe. And so you got these two fighters, and De La Rosa got knocked out. He was losing all the rounds, in my opinion, up to that 4th, 5th round when he got knocked out. The quote of the night, I would say, is my dad saying, "Se cayó como Pacquiao." Now, I didn't really notice it until they showed the replay, but De La Rosa really did go down in very scary way. You know, he just his legs went up from under him. You know, his whole front body he was KO'd. He was gone. So, but good one for San Antonio. San Antonio. Is it San Antonio or Centennial? I'm sorry, Centennial. Tongue twister there. Centennial. I'd like to see him give J. Rock Williams a rematch. I really do, and I think there's a lot of people who would like to see that rematch. I feel like there's a lot of like Centennial moved on to HBO, to get bigger fights, and I almost feel kind of bad for J. Rock Williams. I'm not saying he's it's bad fighting on FS1 or ESPN Boxing, anything like that. It's just that I can't imagine maybe the roles would be reversed if J-Rock, if that fight would have went on and J-Rock Williams would have got the decision or the knockout victory or whatever would happen in the next 5-6 rounds. So, I mean, it just goes to show boxing is there's just so many things that can happen in boxing. So, but it's a good one for Centennial, and I wish him nothing but the best. We'll see what happens with his career from in the future. Of course, the main event. Gabe Rosado versus David Lemieux. Now, I haven't seen the video I posted about the breakdown, but I'm pretty sure I said that Lemieux would get Gabe Rosado out of there in the 10th round. I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure. Now, I'm not going to gloat about it and say I told you so because it's just not my style. But it was a good scrap. I think the fifth round. It was fourth round. It was probably maybe round of the year. That was one hell of a round. I mean, Gabe Rosado, was screaming at the top of his lungs at the end of the round, telling him to come on, and they had some pretty good exchanges in that round. And unfortunately for Gabe, he was, he kind of had the right game plan. He was boxing Lemieux, but he was kind of, hanging in the pocket for, longer than he should have. And that's probably the reason why he lost this fight, because he was boxing, he was moving, and Lemieux was kind of, just kind of chasing around the ring a bit. He was kind of ring off at times. Sometimes he was just chasing him, and then Lemieux was able to get to the body and then work his way upstairs, and that was pretty impressive win for Lemieux. I'd like to see Gabe retire. Honestly, I know he's only like 28 years old, but I kind of feel for the guy. The guy is just kind of, he's being put in these tough fights, and he's just excuse me, and he's just, he broke his orbital bone, around his left eye, and I hate to see a guy take punishment like that over and over and over again. Yeah, I mean, the fights here that he's in are entertaining, and they're usually competitive, but at the same time, I mean, I feel like, I can only watch a guy, take a beating so much. I mean, I don't want to say he took a beating there. Well, yeah, I guess you could say he took a beating. I just would like to see him hang him up and just enjoy the rest of his life. Maybe he can, hang him up and become a trainer. I could see something like that. I'm sure there's plenty of fighters, young kids in Philadelphia that would appreciate or would love to have Gabe Rosado as their trainer. I mean, the guy's a smart guy. Was a sparring partner with Bernard Hopkins for over 10 training camps. So that'd be pretty nice. As for David Lemieux, the last video I said that they would try to set up a David Lemieux versus Triple G fight. I'm gonna call him 3G from now on. 3G. I like that. 3G. And sure enough, as soon as the post-fight interview, Max Connor went up to him and said, "Well, what do you think of other middleweights? What do you think of maybe someone like Gennady Golovkin?" And I mean, it was kind of too predictable. I mean, honestly, I don't really see David Lemieux lasting long in the ring with 3G. It's just, I see 3G's more. I know he hasn't fought anyone that great yet, but he's fighting anyone that'll step in the ring with him. And honestly, if he fought Lemieux, I think he would probably get Lemieux out of there maybe 4th, 5th, maybe 6th round. I just feel like Lemieux is he's not much of a boxer. I mean, he would probably try an exchange with 3G and probably get knocked out. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the fights. Remember to leave your comments and your opinions. Like the video, subscribe, and hey, you know what? Make some videos as well. I really enjoy, especially when I'm at work having lunch. I really like to listen to other people's opinions on boxing or watch their videos while I'm having lunch. So, make videos. Take care, guys.